Hi, everybody. Look who's back. Oh, sorry, that way back. Sorry, I'll bring him in now. Yeah,
with my
back,
mosquito bites. With my mosquito bite.
Yeah, yeah,
oh, my
okay.
God, mosquito got me.
Me and Philip believe you, Ellie. Yeah, we believe you. That's for an after 11 show. Right, good evening and welcome to the THFC Till I Die post-match Sport in Lisbon Tottenham show. Joining me tonight to sort of take apart what happened, but also bring some common sense and a little bit of calming the waters before we play Leicester on Saturday. Is the lady that's just back from holiday? She's done a tour of the south of France. It's the one and only Queen Ellie Hoybier. How are you, Ellie?
Yeah, I'm sad to be back because it was so beautiful over there. But I came back to that, didn't I, last night? That ruined everything.
Yeah, it did. And down below, well, this man you do not want to pee off. He is the Godfather. If he tells you to do something, you are to do it. He is the one and only. He is a true gentleman and a lovely man to boot. It's the one and only, the Godfather, Philip Brady. How are you, Philip? Have you calmed down?
I have calmed down, yeah. I calm down very quickly normally. Took a couple of hours, but no, I'm back to normal now. And I'm looking forward now, not backwards, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, just get through with a couple of housekeeping before we do. Please, everyone, again, this show's been sponsored by Digital Spurs. Please, everyone, get over to digitalspurs.com where you can get your everything from your flags, T-shirts, mugs, everything printed, all at reasonable prices. He's a lovely man as well. And we do have some stuff, a merchandise coming too. And you can get that up and running when it all comes in on our website at www.thfc-till-i-die.com. Imagine saying that drunk. You would make a bit of
Oh my God.
We've got a comment coming in. We've got Chris, still not calmed down. Lucky not to be banned after Twitter after yesterday. Chris, as I said, the trap is now going to be laid. Okay? You will not know. It looks like the cat was waving royalty at the screen.
My cat's just come in. He can't do without me, the poor thing. Just in love with me. He's a ginger boy. Here he is. He's a nice ginger boy. Yeah, he's famous. You see.
Yeah. I want to get on the screen now. Look.
Get on. Get on.
So
you're not a Spurs fan. He's a Wolves fan.
Enough said, Ellie. Right, let's get on with it. That was the team yesterday. Philip, look, what's your score predictions or then of that first 11? I do have the subs as well. Only one save came on, and that was Kuvaseski for Son. So go through the team and what's your numbers?
I'll give Lloris a 7 because he didn't do anything wrong. He couldn't stop those 2 goals. The rest of them, I don't know. Do I even want to mark them? To be honest with you, I think Perisic probably was okay. I was so disappointed in Harry Kane yesterday. Yeah. I really think he was a terrible. He looked off the pace. He didn't seem to be,
Harry Kane.
Yeah, he never got to the timing of the pass or anything like that. Heung-min Son, the guy was trying his heart out, but nothing ever came. I read somewhere he said 19 shots without a goal this season. I keep saying it'll come, but I think the time has come maybe to bench him because.
Hello, it's Philip.
He frozen. That's solid. He's getting his own back.
Yeah, that is solid.
When the Chris, he was attacked. Oops, there we
Korean
are. So I don't think it's fair. I give them a blanket 5, everybody, apart from Lloris. And all I can say is that game is gone now. Let's forget about it. Next Saturday is the most important game. We can beat our chests and up all we do. We're not going to change the thing. No. It's up to Conte to change the thing, change the team, change the format, get the players that we want to see. If he does that, yesterday will soon be forgotten. But if he doesn't do it and we don't beat Leicester, then I'm afraid the rumblings are going to, go a little bit harder than they were.
Yeah.
But let's face it, some of the comments out, again, I'm not saying this anybody on these sites that we frequent said, but some of the comments last night, if I had been in a coma since the 6th of August or 6th of April this year and woke up before the match last night, I thought Spurs lost the last 16 games, not gone unbeaten in 16 games. That's how bad some of the stuff was. So I think we need to get a grip. Just get real. Conte still hasn't implemented all the new players into the side yet.
No.
So let's just give him a bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but apparently that's not good enough for a lot of people, it seems.
Yeah. Well, before we go into you, Ellie, we'll give you a bit more time to think about it. My thing, I give Lloris an 8. I give Romero, I agree with Philip, a 5. Saturday Night Fever. John Travolta there in the middle. I'm going to give him a 4. As for the wandering star next to him, Davis, I'll give him a 4. The Brazilian wizard down the white wing back, I'd actually give him a 6 because I thought he was one of our best players. He tried. I'll give him that. Højbjerg, I'll give a 5. Bentancur, I'll give a 5. Perisic, I'll give a 6. Richarlison, 5. Harry Kane, a 4 because I thought he was really ridiculous yesterday. And Son, I would give a 4 as well. And as for Kulusevski coming on, I'll give him a 5. But please, for the love of God, that if anything that is holy, can you please drop John Travolta and the Wandering Star for Saturday? Because if I see them get it in the Tottenham team defending together, I will be bored as a coot because I will promptly pull my hair out bit by bit. I don't care. Please just leave John Travolta on the dance floor and the Wandering Star somewhere out in the desert so he can guide somebody to water. Just have them nowhere near the first thing. Right, ran over. Ellie, what was your...
Okay, right, I'll begin my rant now. Yep. So Lloris was really good. I don't think he did anything wrong, like Philip said. So I'll give him a 7, solid 7. Romero, I don't know what he was doing. He was like John Travolta's sidekick, wasn't he? He was doing the shimmy shuffle. The shimmy shuffle that went nowhere. So I'll give him a 4. I'm being generous, but I'll give him a 4. Right? Dyer, honestly, he's passing 2. I'll give him a 2, but the overall performance a 4. I'll give him another 2 just for his, and I'm being generous. Davis.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where do I start with Davis? I'll have to give him a 4 as well. Emerson, 0. I'm giving him a 0. He was that bad. He was really bad. And he feigned a penalty, which I'm giving, that's why I'm giving him a 0, because he tried to cheat. And I hate cheaters in any team, right? Højbjerg, flipping hell, where do I start with him? I think he was the other sidekick on the Romero on the left and Højbjerg on the right, doing the shimmy shammy, whatever they were doing. And that pass he did.
Don't remind me of them tree. I don't know if people remember this. I think you and Philip might. Do you remember there was a thing in the 60s? It was run in the 70s and 80s in Ireland called the what did they call it? The theme song's in my head. The banana splits. Do you remember the banana?
Oh yeah, la 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 la. Banana splits. La 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 la. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. That one.
That was Romero, Dyer, and Davis, and Højbjerg. The 4 bananas.
Yeah, bloody useless. And that's my man, and I'm calling him useless, and that's hard for me because that hurts my heart. But he was useless. The pass that he did that went out reminded me of Emerson's pass that he did at White Hart Lane. I think it was against Brighton in the league. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on because I don't want to go on. I'll upset myself too much about Højbjerg. Bentancur, he played well in patches. He's a classy player, but he just didn't do enough. So I'll give him a 6 because he was better than the rest. Perisic, I'll give a 6 as well. Richarlison, I'm actually going to give him a 7 because he made some good runs, but he just got caught offside. He was trying, the lad. He was giving his effort. Kane, I'll give a 5 because he was better than the defence. He done some good passes at least. And Son, I'll give a 5 too as well. I was going to give him a 6 because he did try, the lad, but just nothing was coming off, and they were marking him quite closely because they know he's a danger. And they knew that he could run behind them and beat them for pace, so they were watching him like a hawk. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I can say. Rubbish, all rubbish. Only Bentancur and Lloris really, and perhaps a little bit of Richarlison can hold their head up high.
This is Chris's scores, right?
Oh, so Chris, yes.
Lloris was 6.
He's given Emerson a 0. Well done. Greeks think alike.
Banana split number 1, tree. Banana split number 2, tree. Banana split number 3, 2. The Wandering Star now is in this 0.
The Wandering Star, I was born on a Wandering Star.
If anything, Coach, you burst into song. I'll come up with something. I bet you won't get the next one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Philip's wondering, what the hell have I just joined? I've meant to be secretly drinking. No, we haven't, honestly. We've got Holberg 4, Pentagon 4, Son 4, Kane 4. Hang on, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with him.
I just hit Rumble killed there. It's Dave getting the Thor hammer out, ready to go after people that saying Kane got 4.
Because it was
and I mean, Chris, big up.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else in the chat, get your scores in those players. Really do. Big up, Chris. And I actually gotta say, I love Chris the bits. Really decent fella, decent lad.
He is. He says it as he sees it, doesn't he? Yeah. He's honest. He's an honest lad.
Yeah, we'll get you on one stream, Chris, about Tottenham from your era. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We've got,
he's funny as well.
He's MXST hated. I don't never seen you before, but welcome to the stream, sir.
Yes. That's the person I've been texting. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Philip, I'll do this one to you. He or her, sorry, I don't mean to get you wrong. We must switch to a 3-5-2 to be more defensively sound and take advantage of the additional man in midfield for more control. Would you agree with that comment?
Yeah, they were crying out for the midfielder that could actually pick a pass last night, and we didn't have it, you know. So I think we need, like, I wouldn't be a bit surprised now if I read somewhere today that Kulusevski likes playing as a number 10. Why not try him in that central position for a change? The guy can pick a pass. You know, leave him in between Bentancur and Højbjerg and leave the two wing backs out on the side. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Conte does try something like that soon, because I mean, I believe if you can believe the reports, Alistair Gold said Conte was so mad last night he didn't even went to the dressing room after the game, which managed to do that on occasion to let the players stew and they know they've had a bad performance, rather than going in and blowing the paint off the wall. Let the team go and have a chat amongst themselves and find out what's gone wrong. And they had them in for training this morning at 11 o'clock. And seeing as the flight wouldn't have got back into London until about 1 or 2 o'clock this morning, he means business. That's what I like about him. No messing around, no niceties. Just get stuck in. Tell them they were rubbish last night, and onwards and upwards to the next match. So
that's it. Ellie, I mean, I'll go with you. There were the subs, right, for last night. Who would you have brought on? And you as well, Philip. What's that, Philip?
I would have brought. I would have brought on Longley so that we can progress the ball to the middle. I would have brought on Basuma 100%, and I would have brought on Spence, definitely taken off Emerson to give us more energy on that side. And because Kulu was already on, he would have brought the ball to Kulu, and it would have been fantastic link-up play, because the boy can play, Spence, and so can Longley. We saw that against Fulham. You know, he was bringing the ball out and he was passing so well, and it gave us a new dimension and it gave us something extra that we haven't seen before. And do you know what? I would have probably put on Skippy as well, because you're allowed 5 subs, aren't you, in Europe? So I would have given Skippy a little run to see what he can do as well, because he hasn't had a look in since his injury. So he's got to blood him sometime, hasn't he? And that was the perfect opportunity, because the midfield weren't doing it for us. We're getting overrun. They were just running through us.
Longley should have started. Longley should have started. Really.
Yeah,
that was.
He should have started. I agree with you, Philip.
But you think Philip and Ellie, do you think he's got that in mind for the Leicester game on Saturday? You can't play him all the time.
Well,
probably, but
do you know,
maybe.
I heard the commentator last night, and I think it must have been just before Sporting scored, that Sessegnon was about to come on. Now, I didn't hear who he was supposed to come on for, but with all the melee that happened afterwards, it didn't happen. No. What is the point of bringing 10 substitutes and only using one of them? That, I can't figure that out, really. That game was crying out.
Especially Philip, because we were playing so bad. You know, he needed to mix it up a bit. You know, Conte's quite a loyal manager, I believe. You know, because he's stuck with Emerson and he's stuck with Dyer. You know, so he's got some loyalty to these players, and you can't have that. He's got to break the ties, because Emerson's a lovable guy. You know, in training, he's such an effervescent character, and I can see him getting into everybody's skin, you know, and making them love him. But when you analyse his performance, you have to drop the boy. You have to, because he's not performing.
Yeah,
he's performed okay in some matches, but then he'll do something that's totally puts us on the back foot and jeopardises us from winning the match.
Yeah, but there has to be changes for Saturday. There will be changes for Saturday. You know, I think people are going to be very unhappy if they see the same team trotted out at 5:20, whatever it is. And Jed Spence is an absolute mystery to me why he's not being used. You know?
I know. Is it Conte making a point to the board that it wasn't his signing? You never know.
Maybe he is, but
maybe he just doesn't take to the player. Some managers don't take to players, do they? Like Mourinho with Shaw at Man United.
Yeah,
and also Pogba.
Whatever, you know, it can't be all hunky dory, you know. But I think for the good of the team, that's sort of prejudice you put behind. Jed Spence proved himself in a very difficult league last year, and that he's a good player. And let's face it, he'd be an improvement on what we have in that position. So, you know,
that's true. But anyway, look, we've got My High Hotspur. He said, "What's up, my homies? Hope everyone is doing better today." Well, big up there, Leo.
Well, we're
and
trying.
Our sister channel in America. So please, everyone, get over there. I just also want to say hello quickly to Kev Williams. Big up, Kev. Thank you for joining us. Welsh Girl. Big up, Welsh Girl. I love Welsh Girl. I think she's brilliant. Love her comments. We've got Eugene as well. Big up, Eugene. And also Lisa as well.
I love Eugene.
Lisa,
lovely.
Who's, I think, in Mexico at now, right this moment, as far as I know.
Yeah, she lives there, I believe.
Oh, she lives in Mexico. I thought she lived in America.
I think she lives in Mexico. I'm not 100% sure. I'll check with her later, but I think she might be just holidaying. I'm not sure.
And Welsh Girl agrees with you, Phil. Give Spence a chance. The championship, it's tough. It is tough. I mean, I've always said that Spence will be the next Kyle Walker for me. I really do believe that. I think once he goes, he will fly. Yeah. Philip, I'm going to got a few questions here. I'm going to start with you. And I mean, you've already sort of alluded onto it, but I want to know if you can expand on it as well. What changes does Conte need to make for Saturday's game? Does that mean change your formation? Definitely change your players, or does that mean even dropping Luis as well? Because in the last league game, some of his decisions were a little bit, I think it was Marseille, were a little bit
questionable. go back 3 days before that, some of his saves against Fulham kept us in the match. So
that's true.
Hugo Lloris is not going to be dropped. No way it's going to happen.
World
But he needs
class.
to bring in either Doherty or Spence, a right wing back.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to bring in Longley in place of Ben Davis over on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, Perisic, we don't know how Perisic's legs are going to hold up, whether Sessegnon or Perisic will play the left wing back role. Hopefully Perisic. But in the midfield, I think Basuma has to get a game soon, really. And I don't know who he's going to replace. Like based on last night's performance, sorry, Ellie, but it would have to be Højbjerg, I think, purely based on
I think he does. You don't have to apologise. He does need the rest. He does. He's tired, the boy. He's played non-stop.
He's not a robot, I mean, he's got to have something. But I would bring in, say Basuma and Bentancur in the middle. Right now, we go to 3-5-2. Do we leave Son and Richarlison up front, right, and bring Kulusevski in to work in behind them? Because he can do that job. But we need someone that can create. The creativity is not there at the moment. No. And, the other teams are outnumbering us in the midfield. So we need 3 in the midfield to cater for the other lot. Like Leicester, I saw Leicester play Brighton there, just the last game before the Queen died there, and they were absolutely abysmal. We should be going out and absolutely crucifying them, but we probably won't because we don't have the creativity to create the goals. And so I would say 3 or 4 changes are needed for Saturday. To freshen the team up, and 2 to keep the crowd happy, because they will not be happy with the same old faces coming out on Saturday.
No, I mean, Ellie, I mean that's a great point, Philip. I mean, Ellie, also along that, did Conte get his tactics wrong last night? I mean, did he get it wrong, or was it just the players that he picked could not follow instructions? What he said. Look, I'm not trying to put the blame on Conte. I'm not trying. I mean, there's been a lot of that on Twitter, or social media.
I think
Sean, sorry, go on, Andy. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think his tactics were okay. They're the same tactics that he's used to win. We've lost 1 game in 16, so they are working. It's just that a lot of players were off form. If we had 1 or 2 off form, it wouldn't have been so evident that we were found out through the middle. But normally, the Emerson and Davies, or even Longley, they tuck in, right? So they make a 4 across the back, and then you've got Højbjerg. He's probably more advanced than Bentancur in a lot of situations, but in this instance, he was back. He wasn't really joining the attack that much, but they were all off. I don't think one player can hold his head up high, and except for Lloris maybe and Richarlison, and all of them played abysmal. Even Kane, who's our playmaker, played abysmal, and our passing was slow and deliberate and boring to watch. I nearly fell asleep. I'm telling you, I nearly fell asleep because I was tired from my trip anyway.
I was going
to come on the watch along, but I just thought I can't do it because I'm going to be so angry and swearing. It wouldn't be good for our channel.
Believe me, at one point I thought I did fall asleep because it was that boring.
It was boring.
I mean, this one here's for all of us. So I'll start with you, Philip, then go to you, Ellie, and then I'll go last. And he's Kev Williams. Big up, Kevin. Great comment. It says, can you honestly tell me that Spence can't do a better job than Emerson? I'm not happy knowing that Spence would be an instant upgrade on Emerson. Philip, what do you say to Kev Williams to that comment?
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think we all share your frustration, Kev, because we all want to see Spence getting a go. Really, because what have we seen him for a few minutes in pre-season, maybe 10 minutes in a substitutes in the league matches. Like the guy cost the guts of 20 million. Let that sink in for a minute. A 20 million player that can't even get in the team is ahead of a player like Emerson. So we only hope that whatever it is between Conte and himself, that he puts it to the back of his mind and for the good of the side and the good of the fans on Saturday, and gives him a run out. We're playing a team that's so low on confidence. It's a good time to blood him against, and plus being from Nottingham Forest, he won't like Leicester anyway. So he'll be out to do a job on them. So I really want to see Spence. I'll tell you, it'll get the biggest cheer of the week if he's announcing that team Saturday evening. Really will.
He will.
I think he will. Ellie, I mean, look. What do you say to Kev Williams as well? Do you agree
good question.
Very good question.
I do. I want to see him because I've watched a lot of Spence and I like what I see, right? And he creates a good energy. Even in that 5-minute cameo he had and the 10-15-minute cameo against Rangers, he was impressive, and the boy can run. He's got bundles of energy and he can pass the ball. He can score. All right, he scored 4 goals, but it's 4 goals as the right wing back is pretty good going in my book, right? And also he knows he's a very good link-up player. He's an intelligent boy and he makes runs into the box. He creates havoc because he'll create a diversion as well. Because what he can do that Emerson doesn't do, he can cross the ball a lot better as well. And I've seen him play and I like what I see and I want to see him because Emerson is not cutting the mustard. Sorry, he's not.
No. Look, big up to White Hart Lane. I say it every time. I love his name, YouTube channel name. It's the best name on YouTube.
I love it.
So big up White Hart Lane. Chris here, guys. I mean, my point. Look, I agree with everything you two have said. There's nothing I can add to it because you've said it all. Look, for me, I've given Emerson a chance. Look, he's not a bad player, but I just don't think it's come to the point where I don't think he's Premier League standard, if you know what I mean.
No.
He'd probably be good in the Spanish league or the Italian league or some other team. But he's better than putting, I don't know, Doherty there because for you, me, no, Philip, he can't play. He's absolutely useless.
Well, is he better than Emerson? I think he is, to be honest with you. I think he is.
He's a better right wing back.
I see. This is where my point is. I think we should put Spence in there. We bought him. We paid the 20 million. He needs to start a game. So I think Spence needs to go in and start blooding him. If you had that young wing back on the side, he will die for the manager. He will go through a brick wall for Conte. Where I think Emerson or Doherty, especially Doherty, he's 30 now, so he's done his. Running through brick walls. I think Spence will. But listen, big up Kev Williams. Absolute brilliant questions. And please,
great question.
If you want to get your questions into the panel and myself, please get them in. Ask us. We do. And also, I've got my own questions that I've done for this show as well. I've got Chris here. Formation, Philip. Formation players and making tactical changes earlier to affect the game. Do you think Conte... The only thing that you can blame Conte on, it doesn't make tactical changes or changes to substitutions quick enough. Or do you think it is that he looks at his bench, he thinks, I haven't got a player there to affect the game? So where would you lie down on this argument?
I don't know. I mean, we had a strong bench last night. When you look at it, with the likes of Doherty was on it, Spence was on it, Basuma, what you call him, Foster. We had a good bench. So I don't know.
There it is there for you, Philip.
Oh yeah, Sanchez, Longley, Tanganga, Sessegnon, Doherty, Spence, Skip, White, Basuma. I mean that is. I'd say that there's a team there for a Carling Cup match on that bench when you think about it. So I don't know whether he's stubborn, whether he misread the. Like I could have told him before that game started that Sporting Lisbon were going to be no easy game. I mean, I predicted 2-1 to Spurs, but that didn't come anywhere near what the game was like. Plus, it's the old Spurs player factor with Marcus Edwards was always going to be a feature, and he was brilliant yesterday. Well, he's brilliant in the first half. We kept him quiet in the second half, but that run he had near the end of the first half, I mean, that would have been goal of the season if it had gone in. So, I don't know whether he's slow to change things tactically. Okay, we came out at the start of the second half, and for the first 10 minutes, we should have scored. We were all over them for 10 minutes. But then we got sloppy again. And that's the time he should be making the changes. When we didn't break through in the first 10 minutes of the first half, on the hour or whatever it is, make the changes and make the last 30 minutes more productive than the previous 60. He didn't do it. Hopefully he'll learn. But I think that's been a trait. I saw a post going there from Welsh Gal there that he didn't use Christian Eriksen very much at the start when he was with Inter. Eventually he had to bring him in. Look what he did in the league. So, you know, that's a very good point from Welsh Gal there. And I'm hoping that whatever reluctance he has to play the players he's not playing, he does bring them in sooner rather than later. Because let's face it, we're still second in the league. We can go top of the league on Saturday night if we win it. And, you know, it's bad for a team that had fans tearing their hair out 24 hours ago.
I mean, Ellie, I mean, what do you say to Chris's comment as well? And do you think it is stubbornness from Conte that he won't make changes quick? Or is it a message to the board saying, look, I haven't got the players here to do what I want to do? What would you put it down to?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, Dermot. But I think with what Chris has said, he did integrate Eriksen later on and they won the league. So hopefully he'll do it with Spence. Hopefully he'll do it with Basuma. Because we know Basuma is a beast of a player. Yeah, when he gets going, we're going to see the best. We haven't even seen the best of him. We've just seen a little bit of him against West Ham and a little snippet. So I think he's trying to make a point to the board as well that Spence wasn't his signing and that's why he won't integrate him straight away. If it was his signing, he would be in there. He would be in there because he would have chosen him. But I would have thought Basuma was his choice, but there might be something underlying that he's not playing Basuma. There might be an injury there. You know, there must be a reason because Basuma is probably the best out of the lot in terms of progressing the ball, passing skill, strong in the tackle. He's better than all of them, you know. So there must be something wrong. I can't put my finger on it, but it might be a slight injury and he doesn't want to risk the boy, you know, and that's why he's only giving him cameo parts. Because you see against West Ham, that wasn't the Basuma we know.
No.
Yeah. He was half the player.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, Ellie, look, it's a hard one because you want to give players chances. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But Emerson, for whatever reason, for how much he tries, and as much I've come into this season, right, I'm going to give him a chance. He has not let us down, but he has not performed well or always switched off in some way, shape or form. Doherty, I mean, apart from the run he had at the end of last season before he got injured, he wasn't very good, to be fair, at right wing back. So you've got to give these young players a chance. These young players will run through brick walls for Conte. And that's the thing. I know. Got to give them a chance. I mean, look, I'm going to say it here. It's a question I didn't really want to write, but I thought I had to write it. And I'll start with you, Philip. I mean, and please get in your comments as well. Who was to blame for last night's loss? I mean, was it just one player? Is it a collective of players? For me, Philip, I think it was John Travolta and the Wandering Star in the back tree. For me, I thought them two, I mean, were abysmal. Sorry, Ellie, Corey Vieira, for me, was non-existent.
Well, I've said it already. I've said it all over social media.
It was a collective. It was a collective error by the whole team, basically, with a couple of rare exceptions. I mean, we haven't been playing well this season. We've been winning matches and drawing matches without ever really pulling up any trees. And I keep hoping that the next match is the one we actually do that. But for some reason, we seem to be playing very much in ourselves, maybe a bit scared to express ourselves. And maybe that's down to Conte and his conservatism in the way he plays football. Like the Tottenham way is get a team at White Hart Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, get at them from the first 5 minutes. But what's been happening lately, teams have been allowed space to get at us. And that's not the way Spurs play football. So I'm hoping eventually it will get through to him that we need to play on the front foot, not the back foot, because that's the Spurs way. But I'm going to blame Conte for his team selection last night. I'm going to blame the players for not standing up to the occasion. Really, like they weren't bullied by the crowd or anything like that. The crowd was quite normal. There was no, there wasn't a hostile atmosphere or anything like that. So really can't understand what happened. But let's hope that was a one-off, and that we come back to winning ways on Saturday. And if that's the case, then once we get a winning in place with the changes that we've talked about, stick with it, and then see where we go from there. So, but Conte take a good bit of the responsibility for last night.
Yeah, I don't know what, Philip. I'd actually agree with you. I think Conte should take responsibility for the loss last night, but so should the players. Look, I want to move on to the sort of other sections of that game, but Ellie, do you agree with myself and Philip that Conte has to take responsibility, but so do the players?
I would put it more on the players because Conte, he's a winner, right? He sets his stall out to not lose, right? You can see how hard we are to beat. They got their goals in the last 2 minutes, defensive lapses, one a corner with a 6'3" guy who just out-jumped us, and the other one, he just walked through their defence because there was no defence there. So you can only plan up to a certain point. A coach, being a coach, I coached as well, but I wasn't at his level, obviously. But you set out your stall and you want each player to do their work, to do the job you gave them, and none of them did.
No,
none of them did. They were all at fault, all of them, and they got to hold their hands up and say, "Look, Conte, we're to blame. You're not to blame." That's my own personal opinion. I would not blame Conte. The only thing I would say, he could have made earlier substitutions and used more, because he's got talented boys there ready to go. Basuma's talented. Skip is talented. But everybody's saying he's got nobody on the bench. These two players are talented players. They can bring something to our team, So, yeah, that's my rant over.
Look, I mean, Chris says here, we had this never say die attitude, okay, might concede a few, but score a hell of a lot more. Conte's tactics to reserve this is not the Italian league. There's a lot of people feeling sorry for Kulu, which I have got a question about Kulu. But I saw this comment in here, and big up Julia as well. Lovely to see him in the chat.
Hello, Angela.
There was a question here from Kev Williams, and there was another comment from Corey Boy 85. Kev says, my fear is that players like Basuma are not getting enough game time, so that when they get to play, they're underperforming as they are not getting enough minutes. Philip, would you agree with Kev Williams' comment there?
I'm sure Basuma thought when he came to Tottenham from Brighton that he was straight into the first team, and he's had a rude awakening.
Yeah,
I still think he will be our central midfielder partnership with whoever before very long. But I mean, when you've got a talent like him sitting on the bench, yesterday was crying out for him, and he wasn't used. So he has got to get. Think about it. He will get. I won't say unsettled, but he may become disillusioned that he's not getting into the team, and that means he's not going to be trying hard enough in training. And so, like psychological issues can play a lot of. Sorry, start again. Psychological issues can have a bearing on how a player actually performs during a game.
Yeah,
and I know Conte's a good man manager, but I get the feeling there's a few players in that squad, for whatever reason, Spen's been one of them, he just doesn't seem to trust them. And which is worrying, really, because, I mean, I saw Basuma play against us the last game that we lost up to last night against Brighton, and he was the best player on the pitch by a million miles. That's probably what got him his transfer to Spurs was that performance. And then we have him, and then what do we do? We don't use him. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And Ellie, this one here from Corey Boy 85, he says, apart from Richie, Ivan, and Boss, and Boss, the transfer I think market has been shocking. Royal and Dyer are stealing 11 for better players. Davis is shite.
Yeah.
We're not winning anything this year, and we're lucky to get top 4. Look. I want to put. I want to sort of put spin in this question for you, Ed.
I like Corey Boy.
I like Corey Boy. I respect everything to say, but
it's his opinion. You know, you've got to respect it.
I respect the opinion, but I don't agree with it. And this
that's your prerogative.
Look, I want to put another spin on it here, Ellie, and Philip, I'll go to you afterwards as well on this. Look, we did what we did in the transfer market. We got the players in. Yes, we could have done better. Yes, we could have got a centre back and a right wing back, but for every reason we couldn't. Now, do I think we're not going to get top 4? Of course we're going to get top 4. I think we're too good of a team not to get top 4 or top 3. For Emerson and Dyer are they stealing 11? Well, Dyer was. I mean, for me, you know my opinions on Dyer and Emerson. Look, we've got to stick with them until January. Davis plays well for Wales, and he has played well for us in the past. He played well. It wasn't for him against Marseille, we would have conceded the goal against Marseille when they nearly scored. Look, everyone played bad last night, but I sort of don't agree with what you're saying. But I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. Ellie, do you agree?
He does say we'll be lucky to get top 4. He's not saying we won't get top 4. He said we'll be lucky not to be getting top 4.
I think top 4 is. Sorry, Ellie, go on.
No, I was just going to say I don't like Dyer. I just don't like him. He's too slow. His passing is atrocious. He's always turning his back when a player's running at him. The first rule of defending is to face up to your attacker, to face up front on, not turn your back where you can't see him. And because he can't move his body, because he's a big guy, Dyer. He can't turn his body to recover. So it leaves gaps. And we're blaming Emerson, but really they were going through the middle. He didn't actually come from the side, that player. He was going through the middle. So Dyer should have tapped in and made it harder for him. But he was found wanting us again. So, yeah, they are stealing a living. That Davis last season he did step up, but this season you can see the difference when Longley played. How well we progressed the ball against Fulham and how comfortable he is on the ball. There's a big gulf in class, you can tell. So yeah, I agree with a lot of the points Corey's saying. I think we will get top 4 though, because we've got enough talent in our team to get top 4 for definite. We just need to get a few more signings in January just to seal it. And we can even push higher. And what I want to do is win a trophy, get top 4, or even win the league. You know, it's not impossible because we're hard to beat. We've shown that with 16 games unbeaten until yesterday. So, you know, he is instilling a different ethos. Not pretty to watch. I must hold my hand on my heart. As a Spurs fan, I want to see good football. I want to see exciting football. And I'm not seeing it. If we play that type of football and win, I'll be a very happy bunny. But at the moment, I'm not. Because we're winning ugly. We are literally winning ugly. Yeah.
I mean, Philip, great points, Ellie. Philip, what do you say to Corey Boyd? Do you agree with him or?
I agree with the first part of it. You know, no, I don't really know. Some of it, yeah. The transfers haven't been shocking. They really haven't. I mean, we've got good players in. They haven't produced the play that they're capable of yet. So I'll disagree with that part of it. Shocking transfers is not buying anybody, which we did 3 wins in a row there a couple of years back.
Yeah,
give the players time. They haven't embedded in yet, so we haven't seen what Bissouma can do. We haven't seen what Spence can do. So that they are players. Longley, we haven't really seen what he can do either. So give him time. I agree. Royal and Dyer probably are stealing a living. Yeah, fair enough. But we're stuck with them. Ben Davis, he did a 2-3-year contract. Conte obviously likes him. And we're not winning anything this year and lucky to be top 4. I'm afraid that's a mentality that's got into Spurs fans' psyche. It's 14 years since we won a trophy. And there's a barrier there. I think we're completely jinxed from winning a trophy. We will win a trophy this year. and we will get top 4. One defeat last night does not ruin the entire season. It's only a blip in a longer, in the bigger picture of things. We have what? We have 32 matches to go in the league, and we're still well placed in the Champions League. We've home games to come against these teams, which we will win. Now, I hope I'm not too overly positive, but I am not going to let last night's results bring me down to the level that we're not going to win anything or get top 4. We will win something. We will get top 4, and things will improve as the season goes on. Mark my words, and they'll improve markedly as the players get more familiarized with Conte. Conte decides to make changes to the team that we all want. And okay, if he keeps playing the same players again, then maybe I'll have to change my views. But I'm of the opinion he knows, he's a wily old fox. He knows what's wrong, and he'll be doing his best to fix it.
He does. We've got also want to welcome Hasper TV. Big up Hasper.
Yay!
Go to his channel and like and subscribe to his channel, please. He says Conte's stubbornness is costing him. Drop Son and Emerson, play Doherty or even Kulu right wing back, and Bazuma deserves a goal. Yeah, I can't disagree with you. And then he adds to this, and I give this to you, Philip. Spence wasn't a player Conte wanted, so no one should be surprised that he's not playing, especially how Cesar's turned out. Only chance we have is Doherty, or even Lucas, or maybe Kulu. What do you think of playing Kulu or Lucas as a right wing back?
It's Kulu would be, if you had to play someone, it would be Kulu. Lucas, I don't know. Lucas is inclined to be, much as we love him for what he's done. Lucas is a bit of a headless chicken when it comes to his final ball a lot of the time. And you can imagine Lucas in the right wing back running 50 yards up the wing and giving the ball straight to the opposition, and he's out of position then. You know, you want someone that can actually make a pass and make a final pass. So Kulu might be the option, but the option is sitting looking at us. Jed Spence, he's there. Yeah. We've got him.
It's like staring us in the face, isn't it, Philip? It's like,
playing for God's sake. I feel like going down to the training ground and going, Jed Spence playing.
Ellie, look, don't get down to the training ground.
He has something against Spence. If he doesn't rate him, why did he allow? Why did they allow to go and buy him? Surely Conte has enough clout in that club now to say, right, I don't want that player. And Levy's not going to be foolish enough to bring in a player that Conte has expressly told him not to sign. Now, there's a story there somewhere. I'd just love to know exactly what the truth is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My heart's hotspur saying spot on, Philip. Big up to Scott Heim. It says something's got to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Williams is saying here, I'm sick of being the Nelly boys. Let's lift silverware and shut the goals up of all them. Do you know what, Kev? I agree with every word.
That's a great Kev. Great.
Well done, Kev. Fed up with all these idiots taking Mickey out.
Says Lucas runs up blind alleys.
He does.
I swear to God, Lucas is still living on that night in Ajax. Honest to God, he is.
You know what he does wrong, Lucas? He runs with his head down. He doesn't look up to see what's on. He's just got one mission to get the ball forward, and he doesn't look up to. Whereas Kulu, he's intelligent. He's looking up all the time. What's going on? Who's about? Who can I pass to? You know, he's intelligent. It's football intelligent.
I know you have to pop off soon because I know you've got to go and keep the old dears happy in the community centre near you. Philip is the sex symbol for the over 80s in his village for doing bingo. So,
I'd come and look at you pulling the balls out there, Philip.
He's the short of his area, right?
It's my bingo night tonight.
Is he the John Travolta of his area?
No, he's Sean Connery. He's the new James Bond.
007.
Before we let you go, and Ellie, if you don't mind sticking around for another 10-15 minutes,
I'll stick around for as long as you let me.
I've got a few more questions. It's really on this one. Look, I have to finish you off on a Sky Sports news or Sky Sports trying to disable Tottenham.
Yeah,
Philip,
They always try.
Been quiet for a while, then suddenly Bayern Munich want to buy Harry Kane. I mean, they never give up. That's basically all I'll say. They're trying to unsettle Harry Kane. I don't think it affected his game last night because let's face it, the rumours have been there for the last 12 months, really, over up and down, and it's never really affected him. I think the problem with Harry Kane last night was he just didn't look to be at the pace of the game. You know, I think he got off to a bad start and never really got any better, which is, I mean, he's only human. I mean, certain players, you can't be brilliant every match. You know, I'm hoping that he'll look at last night and say, that was not good. That's not going to be me again. And he's going to come out all guns blazing on Saturday against Leicester. Yeah. I don't think they've affected his game at all,
He likes to go against Leicester as well, doesn't he, Harry Kane? He loves to go against Leicester City. them and the Gooners Woolwich.
No, I've every faith that Harry will be bouncing back. Like, I mean, he scored 4 goals in August, which is not Harry. No. He's never done it before, scoring in August. So, you know, he'll be grand. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Not that I believe you, gentlemen and lady. And Ellie, are you going to the game on Saturday?
Yes, I am. So I'll be filming.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll arrange to meet up.
Because Philip's going to the game as well. So
we'll go to the meet at the Spurs shop. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
That'll be a good one. We'll meet there and we'll go for a drink.
Send back a few rolling reports to Dermot, you know.
Just to keep you busy. Just to keep you busy. And enjoy your bingo tonight.
Sorry.
And what's the top prize at the bingo? What can the
it's not huge now. I think it's €100 is the biggest prize per game. You know, so
right.
Not nice.
Ellie, I'll pick you up in about half an hour. We'll go up to bingo.
Oh dear. I'll see you tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Philip. Take care. Take care, Philip.
See you, Philip.
There's the Godfather, and the Godfather is now. Yeah. Sean, I sent you a WhatsApp. Do you want to pop on for about 10-15 minutes?
Come on, Shawnee boy. It's not game day, but it's THFC till I die day.
Yeah, bless Philip. He does this every week. He does it for the old ladies in the community hall. He does the bingo. So
he loves it. He loves it.
He does. Yeah, and as for you going to the training ground, Ellie, me and Philip have both said no.
I know. I better steer clear, innit?
In case you see Hoybier. See, I've been practicing Hoybier while you're on holiday. I was practicing
Hoybier because it's French, you know. Pierre-Emile Hoybier. I think the Danish had a lot of French influence. That's why. Hoybier. He actually told me that's how it's pronounced.
I mean, I would like to put this to you, and I'll put it to the chat as well. I was going to this was Philip's question, but I will ask this again in our pre-match Leicester game. Does it show without Longley we suffer in defence? I mean, it showed last night. You had John Travolta, you had the Wandering Star, and you had number 1, the banana split, right? Absolutely, 3 of them couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. Let's be fair. So do we miss Longley in that back 3? Does Romero, Dyer, Longley are a better back 3 than Romero, John Travolta, and banana split number 1? I mean, does that sound like a better back 3 to you? And did we miss him last night?
We did, because against Fulham, right? I was really shocked when he didn't play him last night. Because against Fulham, he was so composed on the ball, classy, and he doesn't panic. When their back 3 have got it, even Romero yesterday, I was panicking because he wasn't on it. Because normally Romero's the one you can rely on, but the other 2, they're like Calamity Johns, and then you've got Emerson who just flies everywhere. He doesn't really stay in one position. But Longley, he's a cultured player. He's left-footed as well. He can pass the ball really well. He's got a really good, intelligent football brain. You know, he's very good on the ball, and I just like him because I feel comfortable when he's got the ball. And even Lloris, his kicking was so much better when Longley was there. with Davis, he always does him duff passes. I'm thinking he wants Longley back in the team. I'm going to make him exposed. But he was just so composed on the ball, and he gives you something else. He can drive up the field as well. He's just an all-round better player. He's class. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've got a star comment here from Kev Williams. No, it's not. From Toxic Headshot. Big up, Toxic Headshot. Thank you for joining us.
Big up.
And also, there's a few others joined. There's Shawnee as well. Big up, Shawnee. Loved you. I actually have to say, I watched your walk this morning with Bogsy. Sean, really enjoyed it.
Well.
Absolute classic again. Good one.
Yeah.
He says, I mean, I agree with this. I mean, look, I've heard last night people calling out for Conte out. I mean, are some fans, I am going to say it now, are some fans deluded, or have they drunk too much pop? Have they taken something that makes them not think straight? We've got the world's best manager, the best manager we've had since Keith Birkinshaw and Bill Nick.
Yeah.
And people are calling for him to be sacked. Who the hell are you going to put in his place? What would you want? Big Sam? They probably want Big Sam to come in. That's what they probably wait for. I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
Losing one game in injury time has led to so many calls calling out Conte. Seems like every Spurs suddenly is a manager. Look, we all have our opinions. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. Doesn't matter if you leave me out, leave me in the middle, or leave me on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. That was an 80s song, wasn't it?
Pass the Dutchie. Pass the Dutchie from my left-hand side. Pass the Dutchie from my left.
They actually did the video in the court chamber, if I remember rightly. I think the video was up for that song. But look,
Musical You.
Yeah. Oh God, they were good days in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Right. Look, I agree, but for calling Conte to be sacked or Conte out, are you really having a fucking laugh? Ellie, what do you say? What do you say to some of these fans that want? Oh, some of them have said Conte out.
I just don't get it. We've got the best manager in the world. He's won titles. He's proven. He's making us hard to beat. All right, we haven't got quite the consistency in performance yet, but it will come because we've got players that are top quality. You know, it's just that they're not performing to their standard yet. But when they click, and we do click, okay. Like last season against Liverpool away, that was probably one of our best performances in terms of, you know, because we're playing a top European team, not just an English team, a top European. And we go there and we give them a game, right? And even at home, when we drew 2-2, we gave them a game. But no, I just don't see how they can blame Conte for that. You know, he puts the players out there. He's got Kane and Sonny and Kulu and Richarlison. He's got Longley. He's got Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Lloris, a World Cup winning goalie. And then you've got weaknesses in the side. But even with those weaknesses, we've got enough in our team to compete at the very highest level. It's just we need to tweak a bit, get that centre back, either play Spence or buy another right wing back, for God's sake. You know? Because I don't think Kulu can do that. I think he's better where he is. Yeah.
Can I just say, big up to Paddy Harnett. Paddy
Harnett. I love him.
He's part of the Irish Army. That
he is.
We are going to take over.
I'm going to join that Irish Army. I'm going to become a member.
Take over first. Big up, Paddy. He says, "Evening, folks." He says, "Any fan that wants Conte sacked is tick. It's that simple. Straight to the point. Pure and simple. Bang on the money. Bang on the money." And then Corey Boy saying their so-called fans are delusional, and how would they want to replace him with? With Conte comes clout and pull with players that want exactly Corey Boy. I want to say Paul G, big up Paul G, he says sad mentality, exactly. Kev Williamson, fickle, small minority, exactly. Dual, Am I
Because
saying
you've done well on that one, Dermot.
Am I saying her name right? You all.
Drula. Yeah, Drula. It's
Look,
really
it took me-
Andrula, but she shortened it to Drula.
Yeah, but it did take my time to get Hoybier right. So give me a chance.
Yeah,
Chance.
don't worry.
Romero had a dizzy spell on the pitch yesterday. He wasn't on it. He made a sign to the bench. I didn't notice that.
He did.
I
I don't think he was well. That ain't Romero we know. That wasn't the Romero we know. He didn't go in for any tackles, right? He was standing off. But he wasn't right. It's either his hip or something wrong with his stomach, you know.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ellie.
He wasn't right.
I was going to make a joke and saying, he was listening to his "I'm Dizzy" album before he came out, but I think there was something wrong with him.
Corey Boy made a good point there, didn't he?
Sacked another top manager, then what? We've become a club that no top manager would touch. It's the tactics of the players, maybe even down to scouting them, would be all that. Look, I'm going to say this. I know Dave Harris, and please everyone get over to Irish Hotspur and like and subscribe. I think they've just gone over 8,000 subscribers. So
come on, David Harris. And a belated birthday message to his mum.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Mrs. Irish Hotspur.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mrs. Happy birthday, Mrs. Harris as well. Hope you had a lovely day. I hope the sport you're rotten.
You deserved it.
Look, we had a bad tacting system in the club. Conte's had to knock all down and rebuild it all from scratch. So yes, it's going to take time. Look, personally, I think we had a good window. I'm sick of saying this, but I think we've had a good window. We've got good players in. Not everyone is happy. And it doesn't matter if you're Levy out. I mean, they have their points. Levy in have their points. Like us, me and Ellie, or Levy in the middle. We're sitting on the fence. Yeah. We sway. We go where the wind blows. I mean, we're like like you, me, and Philip. We're like flowers in the wind. We just swing one side to the other. You know, like the flower pot men.
We're more like Sean Butler, aren't we? We're in
Look, Sean I have sent the link to Sean, by the way. I did send him the link. Look, Sean when Sean does the Levy out argument, or Levy out people, he puts structure to it. Look, we nearly went bust in 1991. We nearly didn't have a club to support or a club to talk about. So none of these YouTube channels, none of these anything would be here if it wasn't ready for Alan Sugar and Terry Venables. Now, look, it takes a club a long time to get over that. Yes, now we're probably really sound structurally, and now we've got a decent manager. We've got a director of football who will do it right this time. There's no point buying players for the sake of buying players. You could buy all the players you want. It doesn't mean they're going to be the right persons for the position on the field. So you have to. Conte's already said that it's going to take 2 or 3 windows to get this done.
Look, it's the House of Conte. That's what I say. It's the House of Conte. He's putting in all the blocks to make us more compact, more harder to beat, right? And the next part is to get us to be playing more attractive football. But that will come. It will come. Because we know, we've seen it. We've seen it with these same players even playing more attractive football. And we've got even better ones coming in, like Longley and Basuma. And then we've got Richarlison, who's been added to the and he's a breath of fresh air. So, yeah, it will come. It just takes time. Like you said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but he's putting all the cogs in, and he'll add more cogs in January. Look what he did last year when he added Kulu and Bentancur. What a difference that made. Just 2 players. You don't have to put 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more in January. Add them a centre-back and a right wing-back if he's not going to trust Spence. And then you'll see Kulu fly as well. There he is, the man himself.
I am delighted to look at chilled out, cool looking. It looks like he's in the 1970s. He's out there just chilled out, going like Bob Marley will go, "Yeah, man."
I like that.
Jaman.
Shawnee, how are you? So, loved your show this morning, by the way. Loved your walks with Bugsy this morning.
Yeah.
Top show again, and please everyone get over it.
It's you know what that weird show that I did. It's got like 3 times more people watching it than it would usually have, and the people that are commenting are like not Tottenham fans; they're like random people. It's weird how the algorithm works. So strange. But how you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
right.
We're putting the
We're
world
doing
to
all
right.
right.
That's what we're doing tonight. We've got a pretend bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey, and we're putting the world to right.
A pretend bottle of wine.
Diet Coke.
Well, she's on Coke, and I'm on Coke Zero.
In a nice whiskey glass, I must add.
Go on, Shawnee.
That's
Shawnee's got a bottle of beer somewhere.
No, my bottle of vodka's empty.
That's not good, man.
No, it's been there for 5 days, so 6 days. So it's no problem.
Sean, we're talking about the people that have been saying Conte out and the Levy out movement and the Levy in movement and everyone that's been having that same. Twitter's gone toxic. Look, my view is one defeat, Sean. We're on. It doesn't matter. We've got another game Saturday. We can rebound. What do you say to the people that are calling Conte out? I mean, are they delusional?
Is there genuinely a Conte out narrative?
Yeah. It's been...
There's a lot on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I think that you have to recognize that it doesn't take a lot of information to create a trending thing on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Twitter is there for whatever the topic is, whether it's Tottenham or football or politics or the world or the royal family, or choose whichever topic you want. If there's going to be the diverse, like a split public opinion, then the people that are on the furthest extremes are always going to be the ones that get highlighted. It's just the way it is, which is why I feel like in the YouTube community, within the community which we operate within, Levy out is quite a significant following. There's a lot of people that are Levy out. A lot of people, like a significant percentage of people that we interact with day to day that are Levy out. But if you were to ask, if you had the ability to do a poll of, every single Tottenham fan around the country, around the world, the percentage of those that are staunchly Levy out would be insignificant. But because within any kind of social media spectrum, you get the extremities of both ends. That's all you ever get, right? Most people in the middle don't fucking bother about participating in the debate because they don't really give a shit. But the people that are on the extremities are the ones that are the most vocal. It's the same with Donald Trump. It's the same with election interfering. It's the same with COVID. It's the same with anything like that. Anyone that's like that's got a staunch opinion. I'm not saying that they're right or wrong, but anyone that's like one side or the other, that COVID is a hoax, or that COVID is a real deal and you should get like 19 vaccinations, all that shit. The people that you're going to find in the social media spectrum are going to be the ones that are most vocal on the extremities. For me, to know that there's people out there that are currently calling for Conte out is madness to me. I don't think it will last. I think it might be trending today because it's a quiet news day, and that there's a few people out there that are, that are just trying to make a noise. But I don't think it's a real thing. Yeah. No one really wants Conte to leave, in my opinion.
I mean, I've said it, Sean. I mean, it's our best manager since Bill Nick and Keith Birkinshaw. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot? Look, it's a load of nonsense, and it's just them. People just all come out of the woodwork every time we lose. They always come out. Look, Sean, I want to ask you this question here, and why has Skip, Hill, and Son not been given a chance? And do you think they need to be? Do you think they need to start being used? Because Gill's now not going out on loan. Sarr was on loan, but now he's staying for the year. What do you think will happen? Or do you think in January we might see Hill and Sarr put out on loan for 6 months? What do you think will happen?
No, I think Ollie Skip has just been recovering from surgery, which is it's not a natural injury, DERMOTRON. So it's like, I'd hope that Skippy's going to be a part of the team in the second half of the season. I think you'll see him being increased. I'd hope you would, right? But this is the thing: people that are worried about Conte's natural instinct. You know, Conte's natural tendency is to stick with what he has. He doesn't want to change unnecessarily, and so there's a little bit of me that, like, whilst I respect and appreciate Conte for the ability that he has, I also worry a little bit about his inability to make, use of the squad that he has. And I think that is something that he needs to get used to, because in a system where you have 5 substitutions, just like last night, a team can literally have half of their outfield players on the pitch with like 90% batteries. And then they're playing against a Tottenham team that has 20% batteries. I think it's a problem that he doesn't want to use the bench. I don't think he understands the impact of the 5 sub rule. I think it's going to impact us more negatively than it would anybody else, unless Conte recognizes how important the 5 sub rule really is. And if you don't use it, if you just use your 1 sub and everybody else uses 5 subs, you're going to see more and more a higher frequency of opportunities being conceded in the last 5-10 minutes of the game. And I worry about that, mate. But in terms of Skippy, I think Skippy's just going to get bedded back into the team when he's fit. He had surgery. Brian Hill, I thought could have had I thought Brian Hill, if I'm entirely honest, I thought that last night was such a boring, stagnant game that there was never a better time to bring him into the game than last night. I thought he would.
I agree.
I thought his inclusion last night would have been interesting, because it was such a boring game against 2 teams that played 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. It was so boring. It was a 0-0 written all over it until the 92nd minute, which is what I predicted, by the way, Dermotron and Ellie.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that as well.
Yeah,
in the comments when I was watching, and I saw yours as well, Shawnee. Yeah.
Appreciate that. I like it when I call it right, but I said it was going to be the most boring game ever, and it was the most boring game ever. But until the 92nd minute, before what happened, I thought Brian Hill could have been a part of the team. He should have. That's a perfect opportunity to see what you can do, bro.
Yeah,
let's see if you can mix it up.
Yeah.
And the other person, Pape Sarr. Look, with respect to Pape Sarr, I don't think he ever gets a slice. If a fit Ollie Skip doesn't get him any minutes, and if Basuma's not getting any minutes, then Pape Sarr shouldn't either. I'm okay with Sarr standing around, waiting and seeing if he's needed, if there's like a catastrophe with our midfield injuries. But he doesn't deserve any minutes before Basuma or Skippy, in my opinion.
And you, Ellie, what do you say on the Skip, Hill and Sarr?
I agree with Sean about the 5 substitute rule. He hasn't really utilised it, and it's a shame, because you give players a rest as well, who weren't really performing as well. So it gives them a kick up the arse. Say, look, you're not cutting it, you're off, and another player's going to replace you, and that puts pressure on them for the next game. If they're chosen for the next game, they're thinking, well, if I don't perform now, he's going to substitute me or just leave me out completely. So I agree with him in that point. And I like to see Hill, because the boy has got talent. A lot of people I've read that they don't rate him, but I rate him. I look at him similar to how I was. He's very good on the ball, got a good touch, got good space awareness, runs off the ball very well, creates pockets of space. See, this is where some people that don't understand football, like somebody who's played football, professionally, and also been a coach, there's certain things that certain players do that you see more than other people. And I see a lot of talent in this boy. He's just a bit weak on the ball because of his size and his physical attributes. So he's got to bulk up a bit. He's got to build some muscle, and then he'll be strong enough to hold off these bigger defenders. Because players are physical now. They're athletes. They're more so athletes than footballers, a lot of the defenders. In the past, Dermot, we've seen some fantastic defenders, technical defenders. Do you know, brilliant defenders.
Yeah,
They knew their art. They knew their art. But nowadays, a lot of the defenders are like Emerson. They're athletes, you know, and they can get up and down.
Yeah, big up to the Tottenham one. So first time I've seen you in the chat. So welcome to the channel, sir. Welcome. And also, I just got a Twitter message from the Spurs. Let me get it. Sorry, the Spurs. What's it going to call? The Spurs shot. The Spurs stop. He said, "Can you give me a shout out?" So a big shout out to the Spurs stop.
Yay! We'll give you a shout out.
Follow the Spurs stop on Twitter. Sean's internet is collapsed, so he's trying to get back on this. So he's just having a technical issue, so he will be back on. Tottenham one says Gill will not play this season, will be shipped out off and loan in January. Look, I totally agree with you. I think he will. As for myself on Skip, I agree with Sean. I mean, Sean just said everything there. He's come back from injury. He will come back in. I think him and Basuma might be the pairing. I think Conte might pair Basuma and Skip up. And as for Hill and Sarr, look, Gil Messi, as Mr. Harris likes to call him, I think we need to give him a chance. I think he'll get his chance in the League Cup games or the early FA Cup games.
Yeah,
I think he'll get his chance.
I think
Sarr, for me, I think will be shipped out on loan. And we've got here Steph.
That's my cousin. Hello, Steph.
Big up, Steph. He says hello in big capital letters. Hello. Ellie, look. Look, I don't like to I don't like to slag on players too much. But I think for the next few minutes while we're waiting for Sean to come back, look, I want to talk about John Travolta and the Wandering Star. All right.
Yeah.
Look, that you've got Romero and left side, fine, but then you've got John Travolta, the Wandering Star, and God knows what Emerson is doing. I mean, I haven't thought of the name for Emerson yet.
Yeah.
What does Conte have to do? What we never seem to drop these players. Every manager comes in, picks Dyer all the time, picks Sanchez all the time. What do you know? I don't get it. Can you make any sense why Mourinho did? Mourinho did. Mason did.
He dropped him for a little while, but then he brought him back.
Yeah, Nuno, the Garden Gnome came in, and God knows what I like to compare that time to. It was the urgent sales of Garden Gnome appeal. I think bringing in Nuno, I think that was their appeal. We're sticking at a club, and we sell loads of Garden Gnomes. Even is it because he can speak languages, or is it because he's very good at dancing like John Travolta?
I just think he's a very likeable chap. He gets on with everybody. They see him as like a mentor to the younger players. He's been there and done it. He's been playing for England up until when Maguire got chosen. And I just think they trust him. And I just don't get it.
No.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it because I can't trust him. He does so many mistakes and he's so slow on the ball and he can't defend. He cannot defend. I don't care what anybody says. He's not a good defender. And not only that, he's passing. He's passing. He'll do one good ball out of 10, if that. Yeah. And then the way he just keeps on passing to Romero to Dyer to Romero. He slows our whole game up. And then when Longley played, you could see the difference because he was getting the ball forward. Yeah. And he was passing it to the midfielders and to the wing back so that they can actually forge an attack. That's the big difference. Somebody who can pass the ball and bring the ball out.
I mean, Ellie, look, let's be fair. Let's call the spade a spade. They cannot defend.
They can't.
I mean, we've got Steph says, I can't believe we let Marcus Edwards go. We've got Corey Boy 85. Edwards at the time wasn't up to the level he should have been. Going away has sharpened his skills. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
What Corey Boy said, because I know a little bit about Marcus Edwards. He was a bit of a wild boy. He had a really bad reputation around the club for being a party boy, wild boy. This is a disclaimer because it came out of the club, right? And they just couldn't put up with it. Yeah, allegedly. They just couldn't put up with that, right? He wasn't serious on his football, but he had all the talent. They could see that. Even POCH called him Little Messi. But you can't have a player who's not giving his all and coming to training on time and being committed. And he did the same at Norwich when we put him out on loan. They soon shipped him out, right? So if he was any worth his weight in gold, they would have kept him because they can see the talent's there, but the commitment, like that Ravel Morrison at Man United, same thing. Yeah, all the talent, but no commitment. Yeah, you got. They go together, Dermot, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Ellie, look, we're going to wind up soon. Please, everyone, hit that like button. We've got 20 people watching and 20 likes. Let's see, can we get that to 25 or 30 likes before the end of the show? Come on.
Yeah, come on, hit that like button, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. If you hit that like button, the more it will go. It sorts out the algorithm of YouTube, so I don't get it. Ellie, we've got a few comments coming in.
Yeah.
Lisa says, off the subject, do you think Sarr's lack of game time will affect his chances of World Cup call-up? He's usually in the squad. Look,
yeah, very good question.
A very good question. I think it may do. But that's down to the international manager. I think it will.
Yeah.
My opinion is I think it might just cost him his World Cup place this year. Ellie, what would you say to Lisa?
I think it will as well, Dermot and Lisa, because if you're not playing, you haven't got the sharpness, you haven't got the fitness.
No.
You know, because you can do all the training in the world, but match fitness is different. As an ex-player, I know that. So if you're not, you have to train and play, and you get into a rhythm and your body gets used to it as well. So it could really, it depends on Marcel Desailly. I think he's still the manager, isn't he? Not Marcel Desailly, Deschamps, isn't it? Deschamps. Yeah, it depends on him, how he sees it, you know. If he thinks he's got enough talent to warrant keeping his place. And the boy is talented, so you don't know what's going through his mind.
You don't know. And then we've got Steph says, Basuma needs to come in to the 11 ASAP. Son, unfortunately, needs to have a rest. Kulu, Kane, Richard up front. Look, I think, if we get the teams up again from last night, I'm, to be fair, I think me and Ellie will quickly go through it. I think Lloris will start and goal. I honestly think Romero will start. Dyer, I think we're going to have to see Dyer, unfortunately.
He's going to start, isn't he?
Yeah, well, John Travolta's going to be coming back doing his Saturday Night Fever. The Wandering Star will be dropped for Longley. The French Masseur.
Definitely.
The French. Emerson, I'm going to go out here and say Spencer's going to take Emerson's place. Let's all pray. Yeah. That Spence gets his chance. Højbjerg, I think he'll start.
He'll be rested.
Do you?
I think he'll be rested.
Who will go on? You do the midfield.
I think Basuma and Bentancur. Basuma and Bentancur.
Yeah.
And then probably Seth are playing instead of Perisic.
Yeah.
From the start.
Yeah, and then I can see Richarlison, Kane, and Kulu up front.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that will be. We've got Steph also saying, I could see Conte retaining this weekend, guys. Hope we win. Look, we will win. We're playing Leicester. Yeah. We need
I'm going to be there cheering them on.
So we need a bit of Fox's meat, so we're hungry. If you're wondering why I'm coming with all these funny, Dave Harris is my role model for jokiness. So I'm learning from the master. But I thought the John Travolta thing and the Wandering Star was quite funny, actually. I'm listening to the Wandering Star. I came on the radio today. That's why I maybe thought of Davis was like a wandering star. He wanders everywhere. Ellie, look,
Yeah, I just put the light
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up now. Ellie, we've got the pre-match show on Friday. We've got the watch-along Saturday and the post-match show Saturday night. But Sunday and during the international break, we've got a bit of a special series coming up, haven't we? So do you want to explain people about that?
Yeah, on Sunday, just remind me, because I've been away, I've lost track.
On Sunday, we're going to do the whole 60s decade.
Oh, yeah, the whole 60s. Yeah. And I sent you a lot of pictures today on that, didn't I? Oh, yeah.
We're doing it from 1959 to 1960 to 1969, 1970. So we've named that show the swinging 60s of the Super Spurs, where we were successful. And then during the week, we're going to do. I'm going to speak to Philip and can I get Dave involved? We might do an international roundup. You, Ellie, with England, me and Philip with Ireland, and we'll get a few other about the internationals coming up. And then we're going to do the 70s, which I cannot wait for. 70s
that's my era. 70s and 80s. I was old enough to know what I was doing then.
So we're going to do everything from 1969 to 70 to 79, 80, and it's called The Rise and Fall of Tottenham Hotspur. I might change that to The Rise and Fall and Rise of Tottenham Hotspur.
And Rise again, yes.
We sort of got relegated in 77 for some sick reason. But look, we've got Scott Him here with no comment, but big up Scott, whatever you're trying to say, big up Scott. Ellie, where can people find you?
He's just speechless, isn't he, about our performance? He was speechless about our performance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are speechless about our performance.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed Sean can't come back on for some. I think he's having technical issues.
Remind people about Digital Spurs as well.
Well, that's what I'm going to get you to do, Ellie.
So Digital Spurs is a fantastic gentleman. He works in conjunction with Spurs as well, and you can get all your flags, all your T-shirts, your mugs, everything from him. He's a fantastic artist, and he can do personalised things as well. And we've got a really good amalgamation with him. And also we've built a website, and soon we'll be sending our own merchandise. We're going to be having that in the community section of our YouTube's channel, and we'll also have it on the website. So look out, watch this space, because there's exciting times coming for THFC till I die.
I'm actually going to get a picture of it downloaded now, Ellie, so we can actually...
Yeah, we've got the hoodie, haven't we, already?
Yeah, we do. Well, yeah. Let's see if that works now. Right, that's been downloaded.
I've been wearing that THFC till I die to the Spurs ground. Fantastic.
And then we've got Mick Harmlick. Big up, Mick, popping in as well. How are you, Mick? Hope you're well. And he says,
hello, Mick. I love him.
And Lisa says, thank you for the show. Knew it would make me feel better after yesterday. Look, that's what we're here.
That's what we're here to cheer you up, Lisa.
I mean, Ellie, we've seen Spurs through the years. Look, I just want to show this bit while waiting for the other thing to download. Look, there's the man that brought us all the success and everything.
Look at that character.
We will get there again, won't we?
We will. It just takes time. Conte's putting the pieces of the jigsaw together. He just needs a few more and we'll be there. Because he's a born winner, the man. He's a born winner. He's already made us not lose in 16 games. You know?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic run we've been on.
We're still
unbeaten in the league. Doom and gloom.
Yeah. We're still unbeaten in the league. If we win Saturday, we go, I think, second place.
But I think we can go top, can't we? Because we're only 1 point behind Arsenal, aren't we? We've got 14 and they've got 15, haven't they? Because they lost. I'm sure that's the case. Let me just check, but I'm sure that is the case.
But here's the hoodie, Ellie. I've got the picture of the hoodie. There's the
lovely.
Hoodie.
Look at that. And we'll have it in a lot of colours, not just the grey.
What I would
brilliant.
love It's yellow
That
and
is
the black
lovely.
stripes for me, like the 70s away kit for me. I love that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be selling, and we're going to do. We are going to do flags as well.
We'll get our own t-shirts that we can wear on our streams as well.
That's it. So we are with. It says, "I'm good, Dermot and Ellie. Off work this week, and my son. I will enjoy your break off, Mick. You deserve it, man. You deserve it." Ellie, look, we're going to round up now.
Yeah, we can go top because look, I've just got it up. Arsenal got 15, we've got 14, so we could get 17 points. We could go top.
Spurs could be up by the end of the season.
Absolutely. Come on.
Listen, we got up to 25 likes. I'm quite happy with that.
Yes.
Listen, thank you for everyone that's joined in. Look, and please let us know in our emails. Please let us know. Please become a Patreon. The link is all in the chat. It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We've had a problem with our PayPal, which we are in the middle of sorting out again. So please, it does help when you do become a member or you do purchase to PayPal. But please, the link will be taken down to be sorted out in the next day. So look, we're not on tomorrow. But
the membership was there running along the bottom.
We're back on Friday with the pre-show for the Leicester. Love hoodies. Can you ship abroad? And we'll we can. Once we get up and running, we will do this. And it will be reasonable.
We've got 3 levels, haven't we, on the patron membership?
We've got the Sun Golden Boot level, the THFC level, and then the Harry Kane level.
And what are they in money, Dermot?
€3 for the sunny level, €5 for the THFC, and €10 for the Harry Kane level. Ellie is a member of the Harry Kane level.
I am.
Look, and so is I have to redo that list actually because we have got a few. Look, we've been back Friday with a preview show. We're back Saturday with a watch along Saturday evening, and then Sunday, because of the international break, Sunday we are doing the Spurs in the 60s series, decade by decade. It's a look back in time, and that's what the name of the series is called. Look, everyone, please get on to Sean Butler's, get over to his channel, like and subscribe there. Please go over to the Irish Hotspur as well, like and subscribe. Also, Flat Cap Eurotalk as well. Please show them a lot of love. Dave's on tonight at 8:30 or 9:30, I can't remember. Also, tomorrow night, Dave will also do the Irish Spurs. I think it's myself, Philip Brady, Ollie, and somebody else I can't remember. That'll be tomorrow as well. So please look out for that. We're back on Friday with a pre-match. Me, Ellie, Philip Brady. And then on Saturday, it's me and Paul from Australia and also Shamu from New Zealand for the watch along.
I'll be doing live link ups from the stadium.
And Ellie will be with Philip Brady to do live link ups. And really, just let's get ready. Let's go again. Let's dust ourselves down. We're the Mighty Spurs and we're on the way there. And it's 9:30, Dave says. Mick says, big up, Mick. Yeah, everyone get over to 9:30. That's it. Ellie, it's been an
honor. Up everybody in the chat. We really appreciate all your questions. You've been fantastic.
One thing, Ellie, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you. And nice to be back. I do like these though. It's beautiful there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning.
We'll do a show from these one year from Monaco.
And 60, yeah, I won a lot of money in the casino as well. With just €69 I went in there. Yeah, it was fabulous. Yeah.
Well, listen,
and just one more thing. That is Laurice's birthplace. So I actually asked locals where he was born, the street he was born, and a lot of them knew, but I couldn't get there because it's sort of cordoned off where he lived. He's an aristocrat. You see, you can't just go into that area. It's all gated, so you can't actually go into the area, which is a shame. But don't matter. I still got to go to his birthplace because Laurice is one of my favourite players as well. Yeah.
Big up to Born to Lose 73. It says great goal, great show. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you
Thank
in
you
the
very
chat
much.
as well, Born to Lose 73. Haven't seen you before, so welcome. Ellie, thank you so much indeed.
Lovely.
Everyone,
Thank
please
you,
get over
Dermot.
tonight, 9:30 tonight. Look out for Shawnee's
Lovely.
shows, the Spurs Talk show. But please, before you do all of that, like and subscribe here first, and then go over and show some love to the other two. We will see you Friday. 7, I think we're going on at 8. We might be going a bit earlier. Keep your notification bells on. It will ding when we're on. Come on, you Spurs. The Foxes were coming for you.
We are.